You mentioned this earlier. Your Twitch streaming. What has that been experience like? You posted this on Twitter that you waited in line at Micro Center to get a 3070. Was that like the start of your basically, I'll say, Twitch career? What are some of the things that inspired you to getting into Twitch and streaming?
Welcome to Uplink.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to stream. I think it's because that like enjoyment that Elliot brought to people, I wanted to bring that like to other people as well. And when I initially started, I honestly had no idea how the channel was going to turn out to be or anything. Like, I was very, very lost. I mean, I'm still learning and everything, but I just remembered that I finally had the money, I finally had the space to build up my computer, and thank God I did it when I did, because now
right?
people can't find GPUs and stuff. Yeah, it's so bad. It's just, I just remember, like, I just had this feeling inside of me, like, oh, that's the last part that you need for your PC. Like, just wake up early and go get it. And thank God, because it paid off in the end, and I was able to get my graphics card and build my PC and then start streaming. But like, overall, I think I just want people to see that, hey, you don't have to be like a huge experienced gamer to game. Like, people think that, like, if you've been playing games since you were a child up until now, like, those are the people only that game. It's like, no, I started gaming like 5 years ago. No, less than 5 years ago. Actually, probably less than 4 years ago. And it's not too late for anybody to start. And also, I think I also just want people to get the stigma out of your mind that, like, people that game are lazy and unproductive and so on. And like, as I was saying before, me and you know that, obviously, because we know a bunch of people now in our community who game and are totally not like that. But it's like, I am not surrounded by those people every day. This whole new gaming community is still fairly new to me. Most of the people that I've surrounded myself with in my career, like, don't do any of this stuff at all.
Yeah.
And I just want this, like, notion out of their mind that, like, yeah, people who game, total waste of their time. They're lazy, they're not smart, blah, blah, blah. And I love it just because it's honestly, it has made me more confident, because it has really brought me out of my comfort zone. You know, just trying a game on a PlayStation those years ago was definitely out of my comfort zone. Trying Battlefront, out of my comfort zone. And this was like totally out of my comfort zone too. And I love it.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, like, I'm just like hoping maybe like someone can watch me, and obviously, like, I want to bring them enjoyment and stuff, but maybe like I'll inspire them in a way to, like, hey, I kind of want to try this out too, you know? Like, she says she's fairly new, like, maybe I can give it a shot. And then I think also as well, it's like, I think the problem is a lot of, like, women. I don't know a lot of women that game, and that doesn't mean they don't exist, obviously, because we know a ton of women that game. But it's just, I think the problem is, again, it's like not in their comfort zone, because they just see so many men do it, so they think it's just a men thing.
So you beat me to it. I was planning to bring this up later in the episode, but so you are the first woman guest on the podcast in the entire 6-year period. And it's not like, oh man, I really just don't think women gamers are a thing, and like, well, I'm just going to highlight them. And it's just been a lack of effort on my part. And I'm working towards getting better at that. But I want to ask you, what has been your experience as a female gamer in the Star Wars community that has such a long legacy? What are some of the things that you've noticed and are using your the size of your platform, whether it be big or small, your platform to improve that?
Well, obviously the most major one is that, like, I guess not many women play Battlefront. And it's so funny when I ask around, a lot of the responses I get are like, I play, but I suck. And
I feel that.
I hate hearing that, because it's just like, who cares? Like, and I feel like people say that because there are probably, like, I don't know, toxic men out there who are just like, oh, like, you suck at video games, like, you shouldn't be playing.
Put down at some point in the past, and they don't want to put expectations.
Exactly, and that sucks so much. It sucks so much, and it's like, I think it's like, you don't have to be good at video games, and also you can get better. You can get totally better. Like, yeah, it's just like, obviously there's a difference if you're playing and you're not having a good time.
Yeah.
Fair, you know? But if you really like the game and you just don't want to play because you're scared, because, like, you suck, and who cares what other people think? It's for you. It's for your enjoyment. Like, again, it's hard. Like, it's hard for especially women to get out of their comfort zone and try a video game when you know, they just, like, they think they won't be good at it, or they've seen just nothing but men play. It can be a Debbie Downer, I guess.
Yeah, it can be very intimidating. I know.
Yes, that exactly, intimidating for sure.
I open most of my streams with, like, hey, if you want good gameplay, go somewhere else, because we're gonna be here, have fun, talk Star Wars, and just chill and hang out here. But a lot of the gaming community is, like, so aggressive and skill based. Something that I've loved with the Squadron's Rise is how supportive people are in that community towards beginners, and I think that's something that we as a community need to get better at, is welcoming.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
because can you imagine if I, like, stumbled across, like, I don't know, Battlefront updates or something, and I wanted to play with somebody, and they saw that I was, like, I don't know, some beginner player, and they were put off by that, and they just didn't want to play with me anymore. Yeah, like, how do you think that's going to make me feel? Of course I'm never going to want to touch the game again.
Yeah. It's interesting. Do you think it's a uniquely Battlefront thing that it is less of a woman community? We're seeing a lot more of a drive towards, again, women have always played games, but
yep.
It's more of an accepting of the vocalizing of it. Like, oh yeah, I play games.
Yeah. I think it's just, I feel like a lot of women gamers might be, like, overlooked. Like, I think that's it, overlooked and ignored sort of deal.
How do you see that? What are some of the steps towards making it better in your viewpoint?
That's a good question. I feel like there are many answers to that. So many more answers to that.
Each community. True.
Yep, exactly. So I mean, they're, like, what you're doing, I think it's amazing. Like, even just having me on this podcast is one step forward for sure. Like, I love it.
Me too. Like, this is awesome. Next week, I'm going to have my girlfriend on the podcast. We're going to talk about Republic Commando.
Hell yeah. Like, I love it. Because it's like, what, me? Like, a woman? Like, a PhD candidate on a gaming podcast? What? Like, what?
I mean, how cool is that? I mean, it's pretty awesome, first of all, to just say, hey, I'm getting a PhD. Second off, also, I play games. Also, I like Star Wars. Also, I like Star Wars video games. Oh, hey, and I'm a woman too. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I think also one of the issues is just finding the community, because obviously some women don't feel comfortable they feel comfortable only playing with women. Does that make sense?
That is a really good point, yeah.
You know, and it can be hard to find another woman that plays the same game as you. You know, because I remember I would put stuff out because I feel like I needed like a female friend to game with, like, oh, who owns a PlayStation or something, or who owns a PC. It's like, yeah, I would find them, but we would all play different games. So in a way, we were kind of like all isolated in different communities.
What are some of the ways that you've overcome that? We were direct messaging about what is it, the Galactic Vampire? Is that what?
Yes.
So what are some of the places like that?
Yeah, so shout out to the Galactic Vampire. So they're a group on Facebook, basically all female fans of Star Wars. So it's not just dedicated, like, it's not a gaming community or anything. It's just overall all Star Wars community for women. Because that's essentially where we feel safe, where we can share our honest opinions, where we won't feel judged.
Yeah.
Where basically somebody else can understand how it feels to be a woman Star Wars fan. And I have found a couple people in there who like game, which it's, you know, it's still a needle in a haystack, but those very few, it feels so good.
Yeah, it's all about finding that community and taking part, and it's true too about finding the community of like-minded people, or maybe even not necessarily like-minded, but the same gender or gender identity, where you can come at the same place and you have a shared experience in this community of, hey, I haven't found I know there are women out there that love Star Wars because I see them online, but how can I connect and find people to play with or find people to talk Star Wars with?
Yeah, exactly. I think just this past weekend I found another streamer who plays Battlefront, and I just lit up right away because I'm like, oh my god, like, you're amazing.